What's up, buddies, and welcome to Real Fun Times, Spooktastic Halloween Adventure. I'm Snowy.
And I'm the doctor.
And I cannot believe...
Spooky.
That was so good, buddy. That was really solid.
I've been practicing.
Oh, I bet...
Me and my mirror.
I can tell and
do it
applaud.
again.
That was like me listening to WAP until I learned it all. I was like, not good enough. Again.
Rewind.
My like 25-minute drive home at night. Like, no. I love that you said rewind. We're so old.
Back in the day, remember when you had to the tape?
The pencil in and
She'll get a wrinkle in it.
Oh God. Your niggas in the block tape be ruined forever.
Amazing.
Well, today we have a very unexpected treat for you guys.
So much fun.
2005's House of Wax.
Hell yeah. What a strong start to our Spooktastic.
And we were so pleased when we pulled that. And I don't think so. I had seen the movie, like I've seen it multiple times. Hadn't seen it in a while.
Awesome.
But it was your first viewing.
First
and like
time.
I feel like we just had a great time watching it.
Knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
That's so much fun.
Yeah, for sure. But first, what's up, girl?
Hey, Snowy.
How you doing?
It's our favorite time of the year.
My house looks like Halloween threw up everywhere, and it hasn't been cleaned up yet. I haven't put stuff out yet. I haven't.
When she says it looks like, this is not an exaggeration. I walked in here and it was like, whoa, my eyes couldn't even.
You seemed a bit taken aback when you walked in.
It's like, wow. In the midst of getting ready, because you're also going to be hosting your spooky times.
Yes, it starts Sunday, and gonna have a bunch of people over for this week. We're doing a hot dog bar. We're doing movie theater food.
Yes.
So
I was like, I don't know if I. And then Snowy said, we're having a hot dog bar, and I was like, well,
I'll be there at 6 sharp. We're doing that. We're doing nachos. We're doing pizza. We're doing my friend. Tarjay has this like caramel apple corn.
Ooh,
And
I've never had caramel apper.
Apper, yeah.
I'll tell you what I haven't had.
But yeah, Tiff was like, so my friend Tiff's bringing it, and she was like, how many bags should I get? I was like, I don't think about how many of us would be. And I was like, I don't know, 3. She goes, cool, I'll get 6. It's like, perfect. And then I have some friends.
That's very much in the Snowy spirit.
Yeah, that's my girl. And then a buddy of mine is letting me borrow an icy machine.
Ooh, for like
adult ices, yeah. So we're gonna do like a Jack and Coke. And then the
Are
icy.
people gonna be able to sleep here? It seems like I'm gonna need to sleep here.
Girl, you know you always have that guest bed. Like
5 hot dogs later.
17 ices, 5 hot dogs. I want to give a shout out to my homie Riley. It was their 30th birthday this week.
Hell yeah!
And they're part of the Real Spooky
Happy
Times group.
birthday!
And they listen to us. And
Riley.
Riley's always
Homie for life.
Yeah, they're so cute. They're always like, oh, like I can't listen to this episode, or it was so funny when you said X. And I was like, buddy, it means a lot.
You.
So happy birthday, Riley. We love you so much.
Yeah, man.
So yeah. But yeah, anything new and exciting with you?
Well, it is definitely solidified that I will be going to Dubai in November. So that is
I'm so happy for you.
Very
it's so
new
cool.
and very cool, and I'm super giddy about it. Now this weekend, I have a super awesome show I'm going to go to in Wilmington.
That's right.
And I've dragged my sister and her husband, who have been very sweet and kind about it. Here's what I think is going to happen.
Okay.
They're going to be like, politely dancing, and I'm going to be having the time of my life.
Right. Just doing. Now, will you noodle at this?
Gonna noodle so hard.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna noodle right in their faces.
You're like, whoa.
Ooh. I'm gonna be like, spooky.
I love that.
My sister was so adorable. She was like, she's heard me talk about shows and the craziness for most of her life
long
now.
time, yeah.
And so they've got to go to the airport the next day and go do stuff. She's like, very politely, very sweetly, so, do you think you'll be able to drive us the next day? And I was like, honey, you have no idea what I've driven in. This is gonna be fine.
Yeah. I got this. Leave it to Big Sissy.
Our bro-ass was like, are you gonna be sober? Are you gonna do drugs in front of your sister? And I was like, no, not in front of my sister.
Yeah,
I
what
mean,
did
I'm
Catherine
gonna,
been doing?
I'm probably gonna bake some brownies. So I'll have a little, a little snack before, and then I'm gonna have my vape because, can't
Yeah.
go to the show without the vape. And I'll probably roll a couple of joints.
Will you have your dress with your joint pockets?
Yes. Bro was like, bro, it's a lot of drugs.
And that seems like concert light for you.
Right. That's how I felt.
I'm proud of you.
Well, my sister's there, you
Yeah. Gotta tone it down a little
more
bit.
reserved. But I'm definitely excited. It's a brand new venue in Wilmington, right on the waterfront.
Mhm.
So it should be amazing. And it's a fucking dude that I love. I love watching their shows, but I've never seen him solo. But I'm anticipating.
Who are you want to see?
It's Trey. So it's called the Trey Anastasio Band, or TAB.
Is this from Fish? Okay.
Mhm. So it's like a mini Fish concert for like beginners.
What a great way to intro.
And to have
Baby
my sister
Rose.
there, I know that it's like dumb, but like I am so giddy to have her come be a part of like one of the biggest parts of my life. I cannot wait. I know we're gonna have a blast.
Aw. I
Tea
can't wait to hear about it.
blast.
Can't wait to hear about it the next day.
But what are you doing this weekend?
Other than hosting my Spooky Times group, I'm working, I'm decorating, I'm cooking.
You're busy.
Yeah,
You got a full roster.
I have for weeks. I feel like I have just been like going, and it's like when I have any downtime.
Like the Energizer Bunny?
Yeah, exactly like that.
Mhm.
I have a drum. don't.
Yeah, you do, girl.
Somebody keeps going on. That's all I'll say about that. Anywho, we should probably get into
we've
some
got a
of this
lot to
fucking
get
movie.
into.
We do.
All right, Snowy, it is time for your previews.
Indeed it is.
Did
and
you
I
dig up some fun stuff?
Oh, I did. You know I did, girl.
You always do.
2005, House of Wax. According to IMDb, a group of teens are unwittingly stranded near a strange wax museum and soon must fight to survive and keep from becoming the next exhibit.
Mm.
All right, directed by Jaime Colette Serra. Written, the story was by Charles Belden and screenplay was Chad Hayes. IMDb gives this one 5.4 out of 10 stars.
Okay.
Rotten Tomatoes, 27% on the tomato meter. I don't think that's fair.
A little low.
And a 42% audience score. Metacritic, 41% Metascore.
Okay.
And a
not bad
7.8
considering.
user rating.
There we go.
That's the highest user rating we've ever had.
I think so.
Yeah. So we had Elisha Cuthbert starring, she was our final girl, Carly, which I didn't know her name at all. I referred to her as Elisha Cuthbert exclusively during my notes.
I'm sorry, who is this? The
The-
good
the-
twin?
The lead girl, yes.
The good twin. I had a lot of problems with the names.
Yeah,
as you'll see through my
yeah,
notes.
yeah, you'll see what I
there
call
was
everybody. Yeah.
Good twin, evil twin, supernatural.
Oh yeah, I just called him Sam Winchester the whole time. And then there was Paris Hilton. Then it was Chad Michael Michaels because you kept calling him.
Chad Michaels.
So Elisha Cuthbert, one of her first things was "Are You Afraid of the Dark?"
Really?
Yeah,
Old school Nick?
yeah,
I love that.
yeah. Which
I like that actress.
Yeah. Old School, Love Actually, Girl Next Door, Captivity, 24, Goon.
Happy Endings.
Yes.
A little known little sitcom that I fucking love. Highly recommend to everybody.
The Ranch.
Yes, she
yeah,
was
she's on
in
that.
that. And I watched that. And
I
I was
wasn't.
begrudgingly, but I did. I suffered through it.
Never saw it. I haven't seen Happy Endings either, and I feel like I keep meaning to.
I think you
It's
would
been on
like
my
it.
queue for a
It's
while.
on Netflix, and I think you would like it.
Okay,
And
right
if
on.
you don't,
We're done. Our
We're
friendship's
done.
over? Cool. You heard it here first.
Cool, 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 cool.
We had Chad Michael Murray as her twin brother, Nick. Obviously, everybody knows him from One Tree Hill.
For sure.
Gilmore Girls, Dawson's Creek. He loves a fucking
He was in
teen.
Dawson's?
Yeah, for like 12 episodes. Yeah.
Nice.
Freaky
He's
Friday.
a very brooding teen, that one.
Yeah. A Cinderella Story, Southland, A Medea Christmas.
Oh, boy.
The Beach House, that show Riverdale, which is the like adult version of Archie.
Riverdale.
I've never
It's
seen it.
terrible. You'll hate it, but I
I don't
love
watch
it.
those kind of shows. I can't. I feel like it make me real mad.
You would be furious.
And most recently, he played Ted Bundy in Ted Bundy, American Boogeyman.
Get the fuck out of here.
So I'm very curious to see that and see
I'd
how
like
he
to
did.
check that out
Because did you see the one where
Zach?
yeah, who was he?
Efron?
Yeah.
He was Bundy.
Okay, he was Bundy too. Okay, I couldn't remember.
Mhm.
I was like, which serial killer was he? Not John Wayne Gacy.
I thought no, doesn't fit the bill. But I thought he did a good job.
Yeah, I thought he did as well.
Mm-hmm.
We had Paris Hilton as Paige.
We sure did. I'm gonna give her performance 30-70. Not all bad, but
No.
mostly bad.
Yeah, I mean she's terrible. She has starred in such things as 9 Lives, Wonderland, Repo, the Genetic Opera, which I think actually maybe it's on my list to put into the hat.
Was her very first thing though The Simple Life?
I think
with
so.
Richie?
Yep. Win a Date with
Man.
Tad Hamilton.
That movie was not as good as I wanted it to be.
Never saw it. The Hottie and the Naughty.
Didn't see that
No.
proudly.
Yeah. The Bling Ring. And I have okay.
You got a couple bling rings.
You know I do. She's currently in 2021 has a fucking TV show called Cooking with Paris. She
No.
doesn't know how to cook.
Wait, is this like a spoof?
Well, it's like she follows a recipe and is like, that's hot. Or she has this
Oh,
thing, I guess I found out.
I hate it so much already,
Yeah.
Snowy.
She has this whole thing called sliving, and I didn't
Sliving?
like slang living, like, and it makes me real angry.
We can't.
And it's like, if this, and I understand she comes from a ton of money, so she can do what she wants.
So much.
But when, like, I can cook my ass off.
Yes, she can.
And this bitch who, like, it's literally a joke to her, and she's going around being like, that's hot, and this is how you do this.
That
It's-
she's supposedly very smart and
I don't
brilliant.
believe
and
that at all.
She plays this for the cameras. I wanted to know your input, but I see you're strongly in the anti-cam.
No, I can't believe for a second she's intelligent.
That she's just fucking around.
I think she is
How shocked would you be?
I would be blown away.
Would you say flabbergasted?
In fact, I would.
Samesies.
Yeah, not a fan.
Never been a fan, and I'm gonna say it right now. Didn't actually add anything to this. Wasn't the worst, but it was more of a blah.
Now, what's funny is because she was at the height of her popularity when this
happened.
came out,
Okay, that makes
and
sense.
the production company gave her permission to print shirts. The movie came out on May 6th, 2005. The shirt said on May 6th, "Watch Paris Die." And they did that because it was a way to help get this movie promoted. And actually, a lot of people in the theaters when her character died, which was actually more gruesome than they
Some of
showed
the other
it.
shit, for sure.
Well, no, it was more gruesome in the original cut, and they cut it for the movie, which I would love to see that more gruesome part.
I do kind of want to see it.
But people cheered in the theaters.
It was
which I get it.
significantly gruesome here, so it'd be interesting to see the
Just
more
how fucked up
gruesome
it got.
side.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
Yeah. I really enjoyed a lot of these kills.
Yeah, we had some good kills. We had Jared Padalecki playing Wade, the boyfriend,
Supernatural.
who I called Sam Winchester the entire time. So he probably rose to fame on Gilmore Girls.
Oh, was he in
Yeah,
that show?
I think he played. I watched a little bit of that when I was young.
Me too. Well,
he played
not young, but
Rory's boyfriend, I guess. I don't.
My
Dean.
sister was recommending that show, and so I tried it. I even maybe went through a whole season and started the second one. Was like, I just can't.
That show irritates
And
me
I
on a
love Melissa
level.
McCarthy.
Yeah, I like her
Love
too.
the
Like
idea. I like some
I like
cute
the
stuff,
grandfather.
but
Yeah.
this one just I
Yeah.
couldn't
No, the
hang.
show
Couldn't
infuriated
hang.
me. But Supernatural, obviously. Friday the 13th, another remake sequel that he was in, or another remake of a
Sure.
original horror that he was in. And most recently, he was on the show, or he is on the show Walker, which is the
Yes.
remake of Walker, Texas Ranger.
Which I am strongly against.
I haven't watched it.
I
You'll never be Chuck Norris. I love you, but no.
In the eyes of a ranger, the unsuspecting stranger.
Is that the beginning of Walker, Texas Ranger?
He does a whole song. We used to watch it. It was like Saturday night TV at our home.
Right.
We loved some Chuck.
I love that.
In fact, the martial arts that I studied was a Chuck Norris style martial arts. But enough of that.
I had the biggest grin on my face right now.
It's been a long time, but
We do
yes,
have it all.
we're good fans of the Chuck. That's a deep cut.
Yeah, I know it is. I know it is. Because you're my ultimate buddy. And lastly, Brian Van Holt played Bo, who our bad guy.
Oh yes.
Now-
I called him the mechanic.
Now, what's fun is he actually played Bo and Vincent, which we'll get to.
Of course he did.
I didn't know. How dare you? Oh, you fucking idiot. Of course he did. He was in a Very Brady sequel.
I loved those Brady
I did
movies.
too. I loved
They're
them.
So fun.
I think Christine Taylor as Marsha was perfection.
Yes. Absolutely. The whole casting is pretty
they did spot
point.
on, yeah. He actually was in an episode of Sex and the City. He was in Black Hawk Down, Wind Talkers, the show SWAT. He was on the show Cougar Town the entire time it was on.
Yes, that's what I must remember him from.
He's super handsome. Like when he's not playing like a psychopath,
Not
like
bad
he's a
looking.
pretty good looking man. And
You
then
can wax me.
wax style. No, not wax work, castle wax style. Sorry, fuck that up. And then most
We can still
recently,
make it work.
and then most recently, he has been on a show called Deputy.
Okay.
But
Don't know it, but sounds fun.
I don't fucking know.
What?
But that's what we got right now. That's who we're working with. There's
Oh,
other people in the
good
movie, but I
previews.
don't care about them.
No.
So-
smaller parts.
And so I guess we should
Very, very
probably
good.
yeah. Now 75 minutes later, we should probably get into the movie.
Let's dive right on it.
Our film opens in 1974 with this kitchen scene. You never see the faces, but you
Nope.
see like one like
I tell
like-
you what, it's real shitty. I can tell you right off the bat, I don't want anything to do with this family.
mom smoking. She's got wax in the kitchen stove. There's a little kid eating
Cheerios.
Sure, yes, around cereal. And he's behaving, and she's like, "Oh my God, you're such a good boy. Like, mommy loves you."
Mhm.
And then this little Satan spawn comes in,
Terrible.
and the dad's like, "I can't deal with him."
He's acting up again.
And they strap
Tie
him
him.
in and then duct tape him
Now,
in.
Didn't you feel these kids seemed a little big for high chairs?
I don't understand children.
I was like, why are these little boys in high chairs?
Like,
Their legs are dangling way low. Like, these aren't toddlers. These are clearly children. Let them.
I thought
sit
they were
in a
probably like
chair.
4 years old, right? I don't
was
know.
Not sitting in a high chair at 4.
I don't
can tell you
know.
that much.
We aren't parents. We have no idea. Like, give me a kid when they're like 8 or 9. I'm like, okay,
Suddenly
great.
a picture surfaces of Dre at 14 in her giant chair. Like, no.
My aunt, shout out Aunt T. Aunt T always
T.
jokes, which we get to see her next weekend.
Fuck yeah, she's coming.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see those two.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. But Aunt T always jokes that I should. She's like, if you're ever gonna have kids, you should like adopt a middle schooler. She's like, you would be great with them.
Yes.
And
yes.
I tend to agree with
She's
that.
not wrong.
No, she's not. She's not. So there's this fucked up scene, and then the scene ends with the mom bitch slapping the shit out of one of the kids.
This is not a good situation.
No, and
Whatever's
we were both like,
happening
"Woo!"
here is not good.
And then we go to like present day, group of college
30 years
kids.
later or so,
College kids they're going to, I believe,
college football
no,
game.
they're going to a professional. So we meet all of our cast of characters. We've got Car Guy / Paris Hilton's boyfriend. We've got Paris Hilton. We got Trucker Hat Guy. We've got Chad Michael Murray. Got Elisha Cuthbert and Sam Winchester.
I put here that these teens kind of suck.
Oh, they do. Like they're terrible.
So I'm not super sad for their impending doom because I know something's coming for them.
Right.
And they kind of suck, especially Chad Michaels.
Yes.
Fuck that kid.
Which he had a real bad rep because they used to film One Tree Hill in Wilmington.
Basically, we find out through this interaction that Happy Endings Girl and Chad Michaels are twins.
Elisha Cuthbert. Mm-hmm.
And she's dating the guy from Supernatural.
Sam Winchester.
He's not dating anyone, although he's got a really annoying bestie that I felt like, I don't know if you found out where he was from, but I felt like he was from that scary movie.
He was.
What's
Franchise?
it called? Not the scary movie, but like the movie that came out like pretending.
That was
What am
Scary
I
Movie
fucking
because you're thinking about Scream.
That's what I'm
It
fucking
was Scary
the
Movie,
parody.
and he was
The
in fact in that.
parody. Right?
Yes.
It was him. Okay,
Yes.
okay. Because he was so clear in my mind, but I could not remember from what.
Yes. Paris may be prego.
That's right. She's hanging out with her boyfriend.
Yeah, and then he's
He
obsessed with
was
his car. He
annoying.
sucked. That guy
I
sucked.
hated him. He
Um,
was flat one note.
Chad Michaels is just out of jail. He's got a chip on his shoulder.
very
He seems to
brooding.
hate Sam Winchester.
Yeah, the
For, like-
Happy Endings Girl boyfriend.
Yeah. And so like they're going to this fucking football game. They got scalp tickets. They don't have tickets yet. The
Yeah.
biggest game of the year.
You know how
woo.
you just go scalp tickets and no big
I mean,
deal.
Yes, you do. But like, I think it's
I've
somebody
never
that
been
used,
to a football game, so I don't know how easy
it's somebody
that
like
is.
I used to love professional football. In the past, like I just don't give a shit anymore. Like I was
Yeah.
a huge Green Bay
So
fan.
did
like,
you go to like Panthers games?
oh no.
Ew, no.
And I was still, honestly, if I got the chance to go to Lambeau Field, I 100% would because I
I
think
would love to go to a professional. I've been to professional ball games like the Yankees and the Red Sox and
Mhm.
stuff like that, but
but you're a baseball fan though, which
I do
always
prefer baseball.
whenever like you would come over in the spring and like be listening to stuff or watching it, I was like, what's happening?
I know, it's so unusual.
So they decide they are going to camp out. And like they're hanging out, like, and let me tell Elisha Cuthbert, she cannot not make an I want to fuck you face at everybody, including the guy that plays her brother, including Chad Michaels. In fact, a bunch of people had issues. They're like, their relationship seems a little incestuous.
Yeah.
And they thought that it would have been a better fit for Chad Michaels to, we know
Have
it's
been the
Michael Murray,
boyfriend?
to be the boyfriend, and then Jared
And
Padalecki to play the
I
other.
got the same vibes. It was
because
like
they had no
he
chemistry.
wants to fuck her twin.
Yeah, it's gross. But this is not Game of Thrones. Calm down.
Jamie Lannister.
All right, so a truck comes and like just shines their light on them, and then they said this line about like, we're not anybody's property. There wasn't any gate, and we're like, because that's how it works. Everything is gated.
Now this truck was being very ominous and
Oh, for
very
sure.
like, what the fuck? They were even like, "Hey, what's up, guy?"
Yeah.
And there was no answer. And so, what does Chad Michaels do?
He takes a beer bottle, throws it at the truck, and busts a light out.
Chunk chunk.
Yeah.
Also, too aggressive.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
And then his trucker hat video recording bestie is like, yeah, son, yeah. And I'm like, you and your
felt like
5 foot.
they almost were gonna
okay,
fuck. Right?
Little guy had a crush on him for sure. But at one point when he's recording Elisha, she looks at him, and you and I were like, does she want to fuck him too? She wanted to fuck everybody. So they all go to bed, middle of the night, like she gets up out of bed, like looking super hot, I will say.
Yes, and all creeped out.
Yeah.
Like
Walking out there in her socks.
there is no way in hell.
Bitch.
Snowy. that I'm gonna be in a fucking tent for
Yeah.
sleeping times, and then B gonna get out of the tent and leave my super hot boyfriend there sleeping and like
Well, I investigate.
walk around, figure it out. Like,
Yeah.
no, bitch.
Like I'm kind of like I'm a pretty like straightforward like hoe, but like I would not. I'd be like, baby, no, baby, come with me. Like,
Or let's not,
yeah, or
and
not.
let's
Like,
stay here huddled together with
yeah,
like safety.
yeah.
You
Like, there's
look
not.
over
But
there.
her walking out in her socks, which that grass was dewy and wet, it would have felt gross. That was my biggest problem with the entire scene. I was like, her feet feel like shit right now.
I think later that morning, the
They wake
next
up at
day comes
2:30 the
around.
next day. I don't know how they all slept until 2:30.
Now, did we see that there was some creepy the video camera going on sleeping figures? Because the next morning, that guy's like, "Hey,
Where's my
where's my
camera? Where's my camera?
anybody see my
Where's my
camera?"
camera?
Happy Endings and Paris Hilton go on a walk.
To go
Now
change away
they
from
keep smelling a weird smell.
the wind will blow, and they're like, "Oh, it smells like ass." And then Elisha decides we should go see where the smell's coming from. I don't want to know.
Paris had it right. She was like,
He's like,
I
I don't
don't want to
want
do
to.
this. But her fucking friend dragged her, and then what?
Then she falls into the gross deer carcass graveyard, and she is elbow
Deer
deep.
slash all the animals. There was a mound
Repugnant.
of dead, rotting flesh.
Like a pond of it.
Yeah, it was gross. I put here, I want to see what the bad smell is. And I wrote, why?
But for reals though, like I don't want to know.
If
Something's
there's a
happening.
bad
Let's
smell,
go.
I'm not gonna go in
No.
the direction of it, Snowy.
I am somebody I can watch some gross ass shit. I can watch Dr. Pimple Popper.
Ugh,
I can watch
I
like
cannot.
really violent, like gross out horror. And I laugh like a maniac. I've actually had people in theaters stare at me because of my behavior.
I've had a similar.
But if I smell something, my gag reflex comes in full effect.
Yeah.
Like I will vom. No, I'm a kind of a pukey person anyway. That's sort of my bag. I will. It's like one of my cats. Like it's. Oh my! Is that what Fred sounds like? That's crazy.
So what happens to our happy endings gal?
So she's screaming. She's elbow deep in the carcasses. The boys run up, and then she sees it looks like a woman's hand sticking out of it. She's freaking out.
Yes, it's freak out worthy.
That's fair.
I'm in a pile of dead stuff.
And then there's a woman's
And
hand.
there's a human hand.
Right. So then all of a sudden, this redneck backs up. He's got a dead deer carcass.
Now, I don't know if you found in your deep dive, this guy, I'm pretty sure, was in the show Justified.
Yes.
Yes, it is him. And he was magnifique then, and he was pretty good here.
Yeah.
As a creepy motherfucker.
Yes. And then she was like, "What's that?" And he like walks over the carcasses and grabs it and shows them that it's like a mannequin hand essentially.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Anybody need a hand?"
I put this here.
Yeah. Oh, so we forgot to mention. So Sam Winchester's car, he realized the fan belt's fucked. So it's this whole thing like, you guys go, we're gonna go to the next town, and the redneck offers to he's like, "I'll take you."
Yeah, because they didn't even have tickets. So the rest of the group, they it's a great time to separate. You know what you should do in a horror movie?
Separate.
Separate.
Yeah. And so he offers to take them to this town called Ambrose, so that the local mechanic Bo can fix it.
Yeah.
Sam Winchester and Elisha, they're like, okay, and she's like, "I'm gonna stay with you," and he's like, "All right." And so Chad Michael Murray gives her his shirt to change into, and the boys I thought was kind of cute. They kind of surround her as she changes, and the disgusting smile that guy gives is I didn't care for it.
He gave me the weepy jeebies right off the bat.
Yeah. They have a super weird car ride, and they come to like a washed out point in the road.
The car won't open from the inside.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
He's like,
of
"You like
red
knives?"
flags.
Like,
There's a lot of red flags here.
yes.
And I know we shouldn't judge, but listen, if I'm in that situation, I'm a judge. I'm a judge to get the fuck out of that car
Yeah.
and do something else entirely.
So they freak out. They decide to walk the rest of the way
Yeah,
after.
because there's this weird bog place
Yeah,
where
it's
he can't get the
washed
car
out. Yeah.
across, and he's like, "Oh, I forgot," and they're like, "Oh, we're just gonna walk. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool."
And he gets
He gets
pissed.
butt hurt. They're like, "Yeah, bro."
Yeah. And then
Fuck off.
they literally get over it and they see the town. They're like, we feel like assholes. And she's like, fuck it. It's fine.
Yeah, he's
Like,
kind of like, I didn't want to be that guy, but she's like,
it's
you
cool.
need to be that
It's
guy.
cool. He's kind of a
there
pussy.
we are. He is kind of a pushover. Not
I
the
like how you're like,
supernatural.
he's a pushover. And I'm like, he's a fucking pussy. Like,
Potato, potato.
so the friends, they end up getting stuck in traffic. And they're like, we aren't going to go to this
We're
thing.
not gonna
Fucking
fucking
turn
make
around.
it.
Like, we're done.
And that guy, the boyfriend, Paris
Ugh.
Hilton's boyfriend, is pissed. Back
So-
in the town. It's pretty eerie, this town. It's
You don't-
quiet, nothing's going on until they stumble upon a church where there's a funeral going down.
And they accidentally walk into it.
Whoopsie daisies.
Now, what's.
That guy's pissed about it too.
Yeah.
Now, how would I feel? I mean, these guys didn't know.
They just
but
walked into a church and
Maybe
then-
don't go in there like blah blah blah. Maybe
Yeah, they were
open
like,
it
"Ooh,
quietly
sorry."
and
Yeah.
be like, okay.
Yeah. But I will say also, this is like, these are old school churches, but a lot of churches now, like, you don't walk in straight into the, like,
No, there's a like,
what's the,
what is that area?
not the pews,
Not
that's
a
wrong.
corridor. There's definitely an area before you
But there's
go
there's
into
like a
the
foyer. There's a
sanctuary.
foyer, sanctuary, yes. Like, you don't walk in, go straight, like, but that's sort of an old school thing when you walk in, it's like straight sanctuary.
Straight there,
Yeah.
like the old west.
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
So Bo's kind of a dick. Like, he ends up coming out. Like, he's
It's
like,
like you busted into this funeral for
For
a
a fan
timing
belt?
belt or whatever.
and like, bro, we didn't know.
he's like, I'll help you afterwards.
And then he goes back in, comes
Stomps
back out.
in there.
And then he's like a little bit nicer. He is all up on Elisha Cuthbert's dick. He goes back inside and he's like, meet me at the shop. And
They go
fucking
exploring
Sam
for a little bit.
Winchester's like, oh, add another one to your fan club. And she's like, fuck you. Which
Yeah,
would kind
fuck
of be
off.
my, like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't.
yeah, yeah.
But I will say, she does look at him like she wants to do things.
So they go exploring in Yule Town. What do they stumble across?
The House of Wax. Which, as soon as they get up to the doors, realize the entire place is made of wax.
Yeah, which I thought was fucking cool.
Yeah.
What a good little nod. Also, how do you fucking do that?
I don't know.
A whole building
I'm not good with
of
wax.
wax?
I mean, I've
I
had
it
experience with
seemed
wax, but I
like
don't.
that very first shot of her with the fucked up kids, the mom and the dad.
yeah.
She was boiling wax in the kitchen stove and pouring
That's
it
what you
into
call
a
it.
mass.
Mhm.
And it was like, that seems complicated. How are you gonna make a fucking building?
I don't know.
Where are the tools for this?
So, fun fact, we see somebody, like, kind of goes to a shot of somebody carving out breasts.
Oh yes,
Okay.
a lady is
And,
being waxed.
So, in the original opening scene, there was going to be a woman that was stranded with her car. Either somebody comes, kills her. That was going to be her body that was being waxed over.
Interesting. No, I like the way they did it because it's very ambiguous.
Right.
It was just a guy working on some wax
Right.
stuff.
But that was the original concept,
Concept.
and then they changed it. But you can see that, I believe, in the like extras on the DVD. So,
They're fucking around in this house of wax.
and he's like, shouldn't it be famous people? I don't know
yeah,
who any of these people are.
fucking people. And look, everything's made out of wax. And oh, look at this name on everything. Vincent here and Vincent there. And how interesting. Then the mechanic shows back up. He's done with the funeral.
Well, no, wait. So first, they're in there, and Elisha is looking in the mirror, and she sees somebody out the window,
Oh, that's right.
which is Vincent, and which is the we don't know that's
We don't
Vincent
know
yet.
this yet, but
But-
it is him.
Now, what's funny is they named. So it's not based on. there was the 1953 House of Wax starring
I
Vincent
didn't know there
Price.
was a 1953
Yeah.
House of Wax.
Now the
So this
two,
was a remake.
well, it's not really fair to call it a remake because they don't have the storylines are not the same. But calling the other twin Vincent was a
A
nod to Vincent
nod.
Price.
Oh, cool. I like that.
And so like Sam Winchester goes outside and he sees in the window and he's like, "There's nobody out here." And she's like, "Well, I'm scared." First of all, I would never have been left inside that
Let's not
wax
separate.
museum.
Let's not separate.
Have you ever been to a wax museum?
I have not, but I want to. I think it would be neat.
I have been. Okay, so I've only ever been to the
What's
ones.
the famous one, Madame
Tussauds.
Yeah. Have you
I
been
would
to that
love to
one?
know. I have gone to the wax museum in Myrtle Beach.
Oh, honey.
It's fun. It's so fun because some of them are actually pretty good, and some of them you're like, it doesn't
Yeah?
look like a celebrity at all. Like, how is
Is it
that?
still there?
How is? Oh yeah,
Let's make a date.
we have to.
We're
We'll
gonna
do that. We'll
record.
do Alligator Adventure.
Yes.
Like, it'll be the best. Yeah, we talked about it. We gotta make it happen.
So we see Vincent,
Mhm.
and then does the mechanic show up?
And then they end up going back out. They go back to his shop. They can't find a 15-inch fan belt. That's what they need. They grab a 16. He comes up
And
and,
then
he's like,
suddenly he's there, and he's like, "You gonna steal that shit?"
and they're like, "No, he left money on the counter."
No, dude, you seemed busy at your funeral. You were taking a long time, and we really need this shit to get to the game.
And he's like, "Oh, I have it at the house." And Sam Winchester's like, "You have it at the house?"
"Oh yeah, at the house."
And he's like, well,
"Not
sometimes
suspicious at all."
I will say, I used to be an operations manager for an industrial distribution company, and
And you guys should ship to your house.
the owner would get stuff shipped to his house because sometimes
I
it was
call
easier.
bullshit 100%. There's some weird stuff going on.
Does
with
he
your
have a wax
previous
museum?
employer.
John, do you have a wax museum?
Where's Paris Hilton?
He said he was going to start listening. John, what's happening?
Johnny, do you hear me?
Sam says he has to pee when they walk up to the house.
That's right. He's got to go.
Yeah. And Alicia's going to stay outside in the car.
Why wouldn't we separate more?
'Cause-
And mechanic's there, and he's like, "Yeah, hop on in. I'll take you and grab the belt that you need, and you stay right here."
Oh, what does he say when they're walking up? Something about it's like the Miss Ambrose beauty pageant, and he looks at Elisha and he's like, "Well, you would have won hands down."
Oh my!
Again, if somebody was saying that to my bitch, I'd be like, "Yeah, I know, bruh."
So by now, the group that had gone over to get to the football game and get the tickets, they've decided they've got to come back. They've communicated their cell phones now, and they were going to be
Been cell phones since the 80s.
they were going to meet back up at the campsite. What happens is Paris and her boyfriend stay back to, sex. And then Chad Michael Michaels and his boyfriend, they decide they're going to go into town to pick up the lovers.
Mm-hmm. The love-ahs.
Lava. Remember that SNL skit?
Oh my God.
Lava.
God, so good.
So
Will
good.
Ferrell.
If you don't know, look it up.
Please
It's
do.
worth it.
My lover.
Lava.
And Rachel Dratch.
And Will Ferrell with the
A
fucking-
beard. It's so gross. Okay, so the whole thing happens where Sam Winchester goes to the bathroom, and then I don't know if he ever actually pees or not, but he finds an office and he starts to snoop. Bitch, don't snoop, mind your business. He starts looking, and then pretty much he ends up getting locked in the room. Elisha starts beeping the horn because she realizes that the light's
She
out.
steps outside.
And she realizes,
oh shit, this is
This-
that truck that was fucking with us
Right.
last night. But by now it's too late because boyfriend's getting waxed.
wait, so he's in that room, and then Vincent comes up out of the floor or something, and with scissors hits his Achilles.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
Achilles, ever
God, I
since
hate that.
Hostel, I can't-
hate it.
Yeah.
It was done so well though.
It was. And then he's freaking out.
He's
He-
fucking him up. It's no good.
Yeah, and then we see this whole thing where, I don't know, like,
He hooks him up to this chair with
and
like
he like
fucking,
rips the hair out of his face and mends his like wounds that he's inflicted.
and then hot
Wow.
piping hot wax gets poured not
Oh,
only
ugh.
on him, inside There were pipes going into his body. And his little, ooh, the eyes
Yeah.
just going wide as it's
Bye-bye, Sam
pouring on him.
Winchester.
Oh,
Um,
supernatural.
you make me feel.
Like a super waxy bitch.
We should have an album coming 2022, kids.
Hang tight.
So Bo comes outside. She's like, "Fuck your couch," and he's like, "What do you mean? This is my truck." Shit gets violent. Like
That's right. She tries to fight off the bad guy.
So she ends up getting away from him. She runs to the church. She goes to the church just like to get help. And then, oh shit, they aren't real.
They're all wax. There's
They're all
like a
wax.
fucking recording going on. And who's in the fucking coffin?
His mom,
His
who was the
mom.
original like wax
Waxer.
lady. She ends up trying to get like when she tries to grab somebody at the church, the arm breaks and she sees that it's like bone and blood in there.
Yeah.
What's cool is that it was actually real as extras in that church, but they just had masks on. What did I have? She goes to the church. Oh shit, they aren't real. Arm breaks. Oh shit, at one time they were. So Bo gets her, finally, drags her back to the shop, goes underground, super
glues her fucking lips.
She insisted on it being real glue.
No.
Uh-huh.
No.
Uh-huh.
Happy endings.
No.
Why?
I don't have that kind of commitment to anything.
He blew into her mouth.
And it was like he was trying to be sexy about it, and then he ended up like kissing like
I did not.
I did not care. That was uncomfortable. That was gross.
So while this is going down, which I called her good twin and her brother evil twin, because that was a whole thing that he was like, I'm bad and brooding because I'm the bad one.
Yeah.
But he's not that bad.
No.
He's just kind
and
of
we find out
dumbass.
he actually took the fall for video recorder trucker hat guy.
He's kind of a good guy.
Yeah, he's actually
just
like
being a real.
He just made some poor decisions.
So him and his jackass buddy, who is possibly in love with him, they head into town, find that weird bogged up area, and go to walk on in while all this shit is happening to fucking twinsies and her BF.
So they're like, we're gonna go find him. So then Chad and his boyfriend split up. Cause he wants to go to the store and get a soda, and he's outside. He's like, "Hey, paying customer, hey!" And I'm like, "God damn."
And fucking mechanic comes out, is locking he had blasted some music, some Disturbed. And fucking evil twin walks up to him and he's like, "Hey, I'm looking for my sister. Have you seen her?" And like fucking good twins down at the basement.
She ends up getting herself free a little bit and is putting her finger through the grate. What does he do? Takes a pair of like they're not called, it's not a wrench. It's
I think those are called
pliers.
Yes,
pliers, and snips the tip of her finger off. Well, her fucking lips are still glued together. And then Bo's like, "We should go up to the house and see if my brother Vincent's seen her."
Come up to the house.
And Chad's like, "Cool." And then she rips her lips apart.
That was good.
It was.
Man, it was gnarly.
And then she starts screaming. They struggle. Chad gets to her. Oh, Trucker Hat goes to House of Wax, finds poor Sam, and is like, "Sam, what are you doing here, man?"
Oh,
that
man,
is
that
fucking.
was
That was brutal.
He's like, starts like. Pokes him in the face. The guy's eyes are going to.
They're moving. This single tear
are falling down his face, and he like pokes it harder and realizes, "Oh shit, this is blood, and your fucking face."
He's like, "I'm gonna save you, bro."
He's like,
half his face comes off.
But then who shows up? Fucking Vincent with like a fucking. I don't know if it was like a machete
or he just clips his head off.
Fucking boom.
Yeah.
He swipes at fucking the dude, takes off half of his face. Jackass goes running off down into the basement. And that's when he like fucking 2 knives decapitates him. Oh, that was fucking gnarly. It fucking tilts to the side and he's like, blink, blink.
Yeah. And done. So then we find out like, that the twins are out and about. Like they're like, we have to find help. And then they realize that in fact the whole town is made of wax. Everything is rigged. Nothing is real.
Nothing is real.
They're horrified. They keep trying to pick up phones.
Go? back to ye old campsite where who's getting their freak
Well,
on.
starting to. Oh, okay. So Paris and her boyfriend are gonna get sexy. And like Paris is doing like a little strip tease, and the boyfriend's like, yeah. And the music stops. And he's like, wait a
He
minute,
goes
baby.
out there to fix that, and she's
And
like,
she's like,
night, night.
well, I loved it. Like, I honestly, like, if I'm doing like a sexy strip tease for you
and you
and
leave?
you're worried about the music,
She was like, no time for
yeah,
that.
focus on these titties, son.
I'm
Like,
gonna put my hoodie on.
no, yeah, she's like, I'm done here. All of a sudden, Vincent pops up in the tent, and she's like, oh my God, comes out, boyfriend's been stabbed in the neck.
He's like twitching.
Yeah, cool. He was an ancillary character.
She's
Like, we don't
running
need
with her
him.
fucking bra, like just fucking, I gotta get out of here. And she finds herself in a room full of like
Old cars and
old cell
a
phones,
warehouse.
old wallets. So you know this shit has been going down
For a hot minute.
And what does Vincent do to Paris?
He ends up like stabbing this fucking pipe through her head.
Javelin.
It's awesome.
He chucks this metal rod through the fucking car and into her fucking neck or like head, her forehead.
It's great.
I was like, yeah, Vincent for the win.
Now, this movie was nominated for 3 Razzies.
Okay, I can see that.
Worst film, worst remake of a sequel, and worst supporting actress, Paris Hilton. Paris is the only one that won.
She wasn't great in this. There was a couple of lines where I was like, hey, but most of it was like, oh God.
Another fun fact is there's a Supernatural episode that Paris Hilton makes an appearance.
No way!
It takes place in a wax museum.
No.
And they make reference to this
way.
movie.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's having fun.
Yeah, that is a good time.
Oh yeah.
The twins end up being chased by Beau. They go into this theater, and it's this whole like baby Jane thing, and she's like something about daddy, and it's gross.
And he's like looking to shoot someone. Oh no, that one's a wax one. And whoa, no, that's not the one.
and they end up having a struggle, and they fuck him up, but they make the classic mistake: no double tap.
No double tap. It's the first thing you gotta do.
It's the first fucking thing you gotta do.
Yeah.
You get the
And
tap, you get the double tap.
They pay for it.
They do. Oh, and then you and I kind of had this like back and forth when we were watching the movie, because we see the 2 high chairs from the youths.
Yeah.
It was Beau's he was the one being strapped down,
Yep.
not Vincent.
You could tell because in the beginning of the movie, his little wrists were all jacked up. And then later, you get a glimpse of his wrists and they were all jacked up.
But then seeing that the high chairs like reinforces that. Like,
They did a good job of putting little nuggets throughout.
They
for
did.
You to, once you knew what was up, you could pick up on that shit. On the rewatch, I picked up on a lot of shit.
Yeah.
So, good twin, happy endings. She's snooping around. So we find out that these guys were Siamese twins,
mhm.
and that the dad separated them.
He was a doctor.
They were attached by the face. And when he separated them, Beau was fine, but Vincent got all disfigured and jacked up.
So mom was making him masks, and he kind of.
And mom, I feel like both mom and dad were pretty crazy. Mom, I think, was the crazier of the two, but dad wasn't far off. And so mom's idea was this town. She wanted to build a town entirely of wax. So that was her vision.
And you see some newspaper clippings where she had been in the local paper about it, and
then things go way south and they start killing people and filling this town up.
Yeah. It's what Mama would have wanted.
They're totally fine with it.
Yeah.
It's them and a dog. A cute dog that I was like, oh.
Buddy. They end up in the House of Wax. Everybody's fighting. There's struggles. Then somehow the House of Wax catches on fire. And like we said before, it's actually a House of Wax.
Yeah. So the twins, they find their dead friends and decide it's time to get the hell out of here.
Yes.
In the end, it turns out to be a twin v twin situation, which I thought was
Yeah.
kind of cute.
Yeah. Fun fact, apparently Elisha kept getting stuck in the quote unquote wax, which was fucking peanut butter, bro.
Was it
It was peanut
really?
butter.
But what a great way to film that
Yeah.
because it
You
sold
couldn't
to
have, like,
me.
hot wax. It was like you
It
couldn't
felt
yeah.
real, them being stuck
Like,
in
you're in a
there.
dream getting chased, and you're in that fucking peanut butter. Yep.
So in the basement, the twins battle it out against Vincent. And that's where the huge fire breaks out because basically Chad Michael Michaels pours the hot wax out and it engulfs the basement. And what did they decide? Let's not run out of the front door.
Let's go upstairs.
Let's head
Like a classic
upstairs.
horror movie, let's go upstairs.
Who shows up there?
Bo.
Bo, the mechanic. And they're fighting, exchanging blows. Fire's raging out of control. And Happy Endings has a bat. Fucking breaks his face with the bat.
Yeah. Home runs the hell out of his face.
And who's left?
So it's just Vincent.
And he's not happy about his brother dying.
He's not. Obviously, we thought he's the gentler of the two. Like, it's one of those things. It's kind of like
it turns out that the evil twin was Bo. Now
right.
that was foreshadowed in the beginning because
Right.
of the straps and the mom being like, "Why can't you be more like this good twin?" But really, he was being manipulated by Bo the whole time.
Yeah. So and Elisha tries to kind of tell him that, and then he's obviously not having it. And there's this moment where like there's the conjoined the Siamese twins that are like upstairs in the wax museum.
That's right. They
And he,
wax
like-
themselves.
Yeah, they like go through it, and it's like, oh, that's what happened before.
I wrote the twins get stabby and Vincent falls through the wax.
He does, and then he ends up on Bo's back, just like when they were babies.
That's right. And so the remaining good twins are like, "What do we do? This shit's falling through." And she's like, "Dig, dig."
And they get themselves through.
Right at the A of the House of
Yeah.
Wax, which I thought was magnifique. It's like literally melting down. Now, how would this really work out? Wouldn't that wax be super fucking
It would be so fucking
scalding
hot. They would be fucking
They wouldn't
burned.
make it. They would
be-
have just, like Vincent and fucking Bo, been part
Now,
of
if it had been okay, like a candle, or like
the wickety wick.
you've got the wax that's kind of like on the sides that's starting to melt. That like that's pallid. Like that's the kind of wax you want to use.
Ew.
Hot
tips from Snowy.
When like you have that kind of wax, like that's okay. Like you can get through that. Like that's and even some of the more the closer to the wick wax, like you can get through that. That's fine.
Close to the wickety wick.
Um,
Well, the twins make it.
They
and
do.
Here we are the following day, and it's
the fire has caught the attention of local
law
emergency.
enforcement. Yes, there's ambulances, cops. So they go off about the town and what had happened. This had been
Oh my
abandoned for
God,
about a
right.
decade because once the sugar mill shut down, this town was abandoned. So it was a perfect opportunity for the twins to,
Be crazy.
fill it with humans
Yeah.
that they decided to
To
wax.
kill everybody.
You know what was really the most sad part about that? The pet store with the puppies.
With the puppies, and they had like their
Wagging
tails
their little
wagging. Yeah, I
tails.
hated that.
I didn't like that.
No, that was not fun.
So the twins are in the ambulance. They're driving away, and they're hearing through the CB. Oh, there wasn't just twins. There was a third brother. And who was the third brother?
The redneck carcass guy,
Justified.
and he's out there, and he
with
is
his pup grinning.
Yeah, watching him drive away.
And I thought it was a fun ending because it's not saying that he's going to pick up another House of Wax,
No,
but they kind
he
of won.
could. Yeah,
The bad guys won
they're still there.
in the
Yeah.
end.
And that concludes our film.
Fiend.
By the way, this movie had a $40 million budget.
Okay. What did it rake in?
So eventually it raked in 70 million worldwide,
Whoa.
but it still wasn't enough to recoup all the money that they spent like in marketing and
Sure.
advertising.
So it
and,
was a flop.
yeah.
A flappity flop.
Eventually it did with DVD and VHS sales.
Okay. VHS.
Well, I don't know.
So, my friend,
Real
it
talk?
sounds like we gotta go to real
Talk.
What a fun time.
I love this
I was
movie.
not prepared to enjoy this as much as I
I'm
did.
so thrilled that you did.
What a good way to step into our spooktastic Halloween adventure.
Oh my God. I fucking need to get a video of you doing that. Yeah, I think this movie was so fun. Was it like the best act? It was decently acted.
It was fine.
It was like there were holes. There was times when you're like,
I
are
would
the
say
siblings fucking?
Paris Hilton was a big hole. The siblings.
Honestly, I
the
think Paris was better than her
chemistry,
fucking boyfriend.
way better.
I would take, and I hate Paris Hilton with every fiber of
And
my
I
being.
feel like that's a good actor. The guy that played her
Yeah, he's not a
boyfriend,
bad
but
little actor.
He wasn't good in
Yeah,
this.
no, he wasn't. But it was fun. It was engaging. There was gore. There was ridiculousness. There was sexiness. There was
They had all the right
yeah.
ingredients.
So I have a fun game I want to play with you.
Ooh.
Now that we are doing the Spooktastic.
Okay.
So I thought of this today, and we're gonna call this game "Would You Survive?"
Ooh.
So, in this particular House of Wax situation, now I want to preface this by saying I feel like you and I are two stereotypes that may not always survive in a horror film. I would
mostly never survive.
I would love to see myself as a final girl.
Yeah, you want to be a happy endings?
Always. I don't think that I'm good enough a person.
Aw, Snowies.
I mean, I think I'm a good person. But
simply the best.
Oh, stop.
Better than all the rain.
Oh. I have a little take on it. But I feel like you and I tend to be too like stereotypes in horror movies.
Indeed. Indubitably.
Now I've always told my little brother, if we are ever in a horror movie situation, he and I have to stick together because we will survive. Because on our own we are fucked.
Yes.
Now, our stereotypes aside, do you think you would make it out?
Okay.
Of House of Wax.
Similarly to the statement you just made, I feel strongly that if we stuck together, we would make it through.
Oh, I love that.
However, were we to separate through our adventure
to go one way and you go the
reason,
other,
then
my tiny little 2-year-old bladder got the best of us.
The likelihood of my survival is lower than yours. So we need to stick together. Otherwise, I'm going to die.
I love your faith in me. I think I would have never even been in this situation because the second someone said to me, we're going to camp out, I had been like, bitch, I'll be at the Holiday Inn up the road. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Beautiful. See, this is why we got to stick together. You and I would have been at the Holiday Inn.
And you'd be like, can we get a room with 2 twin beds? I'd be like, I got you, girl. Let's go.
Our stupid buddies are dead.
Yeah.
They've been waxed.
I'm like, guys, we're at the game. Where are you? And there you have it.
I love this segment. Overall takes on the movie, had much more fun than I thought I was gonna.
Fucking watch it. This movie's awesome.
Yes,
such a fun watch.
Absolutely a recommend.
Yeah.
Good times, and I think it's time we give it a little rating.
I think we should.
I am going to go 2.5 reels.
I'm going 4.
4, a mighty 4.
2.5. I feel like as much as you feel like you enjoyed it, this is a fucking classic Night of the Comet situation where you're like, I think this movie was fun. I loved it. I did this. And you're like, 1.2. Fuck this movie. How dare you?
Here's the thing I struggle with our
You gave Harley and Marlboro a 2.5
stars.
Yeah.
If I'm going to go 3, it's got to be super good.
You gave Tango and Cash a 5.
That's a gay movie. It's sentimental.
Okay, but that's okay. You're letting your emotions into this.
Okay, Yoda, you're right.
Yes. Don't-
You know what? I'm going to work on this for future ratings. You're right. Thanks for pointing out my many flaws. High five!
Aggressive.
So, where does that put us, Snowy? Our real fun times rating is 82.1.
3.25.
3
That's what I thought.
point. Look at that. We got there anyway, buddy. Look at that.
I'd like it to be a 3.5, but
But I am super excited to go into
the witch hat.
my friend. What will the next movie be? Wolves. Oh. Ooh, yes. I'm very excited
That's
about
going to be
this,
so
Snowy.
much fun.
Khaleesi.
My moon and stars.
So, refresh me. What's this one about? It's definitely not wolves. That'd be weird.
It's vampires. It is all vampires
More
all the
wax
time.
stuff?
So it's
we
Jason.
got-
It's a kid who I guess he turns into like a wolf, and he
lichen.
stumbles a lichen, yes, and he comes across a small town village of werewolves and tries to find his place.
I like it. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward
It
to
looks
it.
yeah, it looks a little ridiculous. So I'm super excited. It's super fun.
Oh man, the Spooktastic Halloween adventure has just begun, and I'm already having a blasty blast.
Yeah, I'm super excited about everything.
My buddy. I cannot wait.
Nor can I.
But in the meantime, hey guys, reach out.
Say hello.
Tell us what are some of your favorite spooky picks.
Rate us, review us, the Apple, the Facebook. Say what's up on Instagram. Like, let's get a little
Instagrams.
rapport going.
Let's do this.
I did the social medias. Like, let's be friends, bro.
She's really good at it, guys. You reach out, she's gonna reach back out.
Yeah, reach out and touch
And again, a special tip of the old hat to our old school ghoul. Thank you so much for the fucking rad intro and outro. And I'm so stoked for next week, you guys.
Who can tell this week?
You gotta tell somebody.
Ooh.
Mm.
Now, not who you should tell, but okay, so I have like some more regulars at work. And the other way we were talking, and I said something about like, I was like, oh, my podcast, I just had its year anniversary. They're like, you've got a fucking podcast? I was like, yeah. At the table, they added everything, and they were like going through and like, what did you think about this movie? What did you think about this one?
Get the fuck out of here!
Yeah.
You're like a genius.
Thank you.
Social needs genius.
No, but it was just,
People
it was
ask
cool.
me all the
Like,
time, what do you do? And I say nothing.
no, you say, I have a podcast. It's called Real Fun Times. REELFUNTIMES.
You know, I did have a new neighbor come downstairs, and we had some mild interaction.
Oh, did they complain?
The interwebs had to be installed, and I was like, I can't be here that day. And then I was there the next day, and then they wrote me a sweet little note like, thank you for helping me with the internet.
Oh,
I'm gonna tell those fucking guys. I'm gonna write them back another note and be like, hey, real fun times.
tell your neighbors. This week, tell your neighbors.
It's time to tell your neighbors. You guys, love you all, but it is time to bid you
adieu.
Thank you for listening to Real Fun Times, your favorite movie podcast.
Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Real Fun Times. REELFUNTIMES. Real Fun Times is produced by Drea Age, Rose Age, and Noelle Phelps. The thoughts and opinions expressed herein are solely those of the individual hosts, nobody else's. No one's.
Real Fun Times is not affiliated with or connected to any of the motion pictures, music, or other clips played within this podcast. All movie clips and music included in this podcast are the intellectual property of the respective copyright holders. They're included here for review purposes, and absolutely no infringement is intended.
And a very sincere thank you to Michael for our rad outro music. To hear more of his offerings, art, and collaborations, check him out on Instagram at that_old_school_ghoul.
A Lannister always pays his debts.
That's what I hear.
In your vagina!
Stupid.
You know what I wrote down here? Ha ha ha. Remember Disturbed?
Yo, I like Disturbed.
I did too.
I'm like, that's to me, that's kind
Down
of
with
like
the sickness.
that kind of like kind of that's kind of shit you fuck to. Like,
Angrily, violently.
yeah.
Which I don't do, but you like it.
Why are you calling me out?
Different strokes.
Strokes indeed. I'm fucking filthy.